since I've moved on from the next game I'm going to be talking about. I was playing the game Atomic Heart, and so I guess unfortunately for me, this makes 2 games in a row I've kind of lost interest in. I went in from Hogwarts Legacy right into Atomic Heart, and I'm kind of disappointed. Those were 2 games I was very much looking forward to, and at least with Atomic Heart, it kind of was going in the direction I wanted it to go in, and it very much didn't. Phoenix, did you get to see... I think what ultimately made me stop playing Atomic Heart is I went out of my way to watch SkillUp's video. Did you get to see his opinion on it?
I did. It didn't really sway me one way or the other. I wasn't super game for it anyway. I don't know. Something about it seemed off. Just watching it initially. I know they were going for a very Bioshocky feel.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But something about it just didn't land. At least just watching the trailers and whatnot. Granted, I didn't play it, so I had no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched any Skillup's videos, just YouTube reviewer, but I know we watch him a lot, and usually I am pretty well in line with his opinion on things. So when I did hear his opinion, it definitely didn't, sway me to try it even more. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what SkillUp in particular said that kind of... I wasn't kind of feeling the game anyways, and because he kind of led on that throughout the game, what you kind of expect is happening it happens, and the game doesn't really venture off. It doesn't do anything. Kind of what you expect happens, and I don't know. I think ultimately for me, what the downfall of the game is it is very to me it feels kind of basic. And the main character is not I don't know, he's just not a very entertaining protagonist. It feels like kind of he feels like a knockoff Duke Nukem, where he's constantly quipping, constantly kind of just saying things just to fill the air, and he is a very dumb character. He never catches on to things that should be super obvious, that are plot elements, and I don't know. I ultimately found myself not very interested, and the gameplay was fantastic. It's weird because it's the kind of game that I would think would absolutely draw me in. It had awesome customization. Well, not customization. It had awesome upgrading of weapons. It had a bunch of different abilities and powers that you can combine to do stuff. The combat and gunplay is fun. It's got a wide variety of enemies. Unfortunately, I think SkillUp he phrased it perfectly. It feels like this game kind of just throws everything at the wall in hopes that something sticks or something catches your attention that was utilized better in an older game or some other type of game, and the game is scattershot in terms of the theming, in terms of some of the characters. I don't feel like it ever it has all these different environments and different themes, but it moves on so quickly between a cool environment or a cool set piece, you know what I mean? And it never really gives you time to kind of fixate on something cool that you just saw, because it moves immediately on to something else, and everything looks cool, but I don't know. Again, I kind of felt like it was all over the place, and the dialogue's funny because I think it's a Russian game or a Russian game developer, which is an explanation why the game got postponed so many times, because I think they're Ukrainian or Russian. I don't know for sure. Mundfish, but yeah, I
heard there's a really saucy vending machine.
Oh yes, the vending machine. The vending machine constantly throws out these super cringy sexual innuendos, and it's something you would think sounds funny, but it never comes across as funny. It's more uncomfortable, and it's I don't know. Again, the game tries
Russian humor.
The game tries to have it tries to have personality, and it tries to be funny, but I don't know. It never succeeded in that for me, and maybe it could have been the translation. Maybe there was something lost in translation. But I don't know, the American lines and the delivery, everything just seems bad, and the protagonist is cringy and annoying. I don't know. That's kind of my overall thought. Is like it was fun. There was like a lot of cool elements, but it doesn't. It's just like the game that for me that just didn't feel like it comes together. I don't know. Was there any interest on either of your parts? Did you guys care about this game at all?
I said not really. I was just checking. I wanted to check at the studio. So you have mundfish, headquartered in Cyprus, and his offices in Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Ooh,
so.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw out Justus Phillips, the Cartoon King in chat, says hi. What's going on, Justus? Thanks for joining.
Howdy.
What were you gonna say?
Chaz, you got a viewer.
No, that was I don't know. Like when I first saw the trailer for this, I mean, it had that kind of too good to be true feeling to it. There've been a few games that come out of like it was trying so hard to look like something I liked, which just didn't settle well for me. Cause, like,
it very much plays on that Bioshock-y. Yeah.
It looked like Bioshock, and just everything about it, I'm like, this is not going to be Bioshock. Like, it felt like they were trying to pull the wool over my eyes the whole time. Maybe that was a bad read, I don't know, but it sounds like that was kind of the take on it. And here's the thing about like Bioshock. I mean, although the gameplay was good in Bioshock, the narrative, I think, is what most people always remember about Bioshock. And I think just looking at this, it felt like it was going to be all kind of show, no substance. So even if they did somehow emulate the gameplay of this of Bioshock, I knew they weren't going to nail the writing and the narrative, because that was the whole point of Bioshock. Yeah. Not that Bioshock had poor gameplay, like it was excellent. I think honestly, like Bioshock 2 was even better from a gameplay standpoint. But I don't know. As I said, it just felt not manipulative. I mean, because it looks cool. It's just something about it. I don't know. It just didn't ring true to me. But to be fair, I mean, what you're saying though is that the gameplay was really solid.
The gameplay and gunplay is the highlight of the game. Like the powers and everything, that's the highlight.
So I guess in a way, I kind of had a bad read on it, because I guess from at least visually what you see, you get what you see. I guess when I think about like a Bioshock-like game, I think about the narrative, and that's where I felt like this was probably not going to be there, and it sounds like that's kind of where it was.
That's where the game fails, is like ultimately the narrative. It's very predictable. Not a lot of, again, when the game starts to throw a theme or throw a plot element at you, it rushes on to something else super quickly, and like, I don't know, everything feels very fast and rushed, and I don't know. And it also kind of,
that's a shame.
It also very much has like a lot of theming from Bioshock 2, where it's like you're in an alternative timeline where, you know, the USSR is on top, and you know, like very and
surprise,
where like Anne Rain, you know, like that type of direction of timeline. It very much goes in that, where it's like, it's, you know, this other corporation smart guy wants to develop his own society and branch off. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember Bioshock characters.
Oh, Andrew Ryan?
Andrew Ryan, yeah, it very much is like, this guy is very, very similar to Andrew Ryan, and I don't know. Juices Phillips in chat says, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? We're doing great. Getting a podcast, nothing better. But I think one last thing for me that I feel like this game could have been missing is, how I said the main character feels like a knockoff Duke Nukem. The game feels too... It feels too quippy and too bright. Like, I feel like it could have used some of that like dark Bioshock-y environments and themes, and they go very wacky with this one, and I don't know.
They should have taken themselves more seriously, is what you're saying.
It's tough to be wacky in like a world that is like super scary, that they kind of build up, and it's
like watching the trailers, like nothing about that really looks like some, you know, Duke Nukem style game. Like, it looked like it was going to be this dystopian kind of like dark kind of something, and apparently you're saying it's not the case at all, which it seems like a weird kind of tone mismatch.
I definitely think the game's worth playing if you have any interest in any of those themes, and I don't know, maybe there's a way
It's on Gamepass too.
It's on
right?
Gamepass, so it's not like it's not hard to access, but I don't know. I'd be curious down in comments. I mean, is there anyone who like had the total opposite opinion of me? Because again, I didn't think it was bad. I think that's what's interesting about me kind of giving up on Hogwarts and this game back to back is like, I didn't give up on them because they were bad games, but there was just something narratively, something not there that wasn't kind of pulling me through. And
And you're not a real gamer, so.
And I'm not a real gamer because I never finished Elden Ring, only because of that game.
And you may never get a chance to play it again because I may never be able to force you to based upon these Olympic scores.
Oh boy.
But anyways,
Well,
fair enough. I mean, does the fact that it was on Game Pass though make it any more favorable for you? Like, considering you pay, just your monthly subscription, like, does that make the game better in your eyes, or you're still like, eh?
Compared to paying $60 at a store?
Yeah.
I don't think it makes it better or worse. I just think it makes it easier to kind of... It makes it easier to when you get that feeling of you're not being sucked into the world. It makes it easier to kind of be like, all right,
Yeah. I guess what I mean by that is, like, my expectations are gauged very differently when I look at a game that, I can pretty much just play, quote-unquote, for free. I mean, I know you're paying the subscription, but I guess I get more enjoyment out of it, even if the game's technically, quantitatively not as good. Like, although I'm not saying that I'm going to hop out and play this game, like, the fact that I'm not going to have to go pay $50-$60 for it, I'd probably end up being relatively favorable for it. Like, I think that was part of my favor towards Hi-Fi Rush, even though I did just naturally enjoy Hi-Fi Rush.
I just liked Hi-Fi Rush.
The fact that it was free, pretty much, I think added a lot to it. But either way, that's getting off on topic a little bit.
Yeah, again, Atomic Heart is an interesting case where, like, there were elements there. There is something good there, but it just... I don't know. Again, for me, it all just doesn't come together.
So should they do a sequel and try to pick out what does work and fine-tune it, or just this IP should just die off?
Well, it's hard for me to say because I didn't finish the game. So I don't know how it ends. I mean,
so up to this point, do
I want more of it? I would love to see this developer make something else. Like, I don't know if I want him to continue on with this, but like, I don't know. Mundfish, the game is like quality. It's quality. Everything operates great. The game looks good. It's just this game just
didn't. 1 to 10. What do you give it?
This was like a 6 or a 7 for me, like somewhere around there. I mean, I guess if you put a gun to my head, I mean, maybe.
Where's the gun?
Where's that gun? Oh, you give game 10.
Goodness. Don't give you guys game dev jobs. Goodness. Gosh, I don't know. I would say a 6. Probably like it's above average. It just like, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
So anybody listening, what that really means is this is game of the year.
10.
If Chaz doesn't like it, then clearly this is a 10 out of 10. Rush out, sell your firstborn to play it. So.
And I will admit, part of me kind of feels bad for having kind of given up on it, especially after listening to Skillup's, opinion, but I don't know.
How many hours did you play it?
I played it, I did 3 streams, last one was 4 hours, so I think it was like 7 to 8 hours. And I think I heard it was
the game?
15. It's like a 15 hour.
Halfway? Okay.
And then he could finish it technically.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's, to be fair, that's a fair chunk. If you only played for like 2 or 3 hours, but like if you played 5 to 7 hours, you probably got a good feel of the game.
I typically feel bad about quitting a game after an hour or 2. Like, I like to give it at least 5, especially if it's a longer game. Like, anything over 5, I normally don't feel bad about quitting.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, there's a lot of games that
unless it's Elden Ring, then I don't feel bad.
No, I think most games, if they're, somewhat lengthy, you should give them a couple of hours, because the game can change so much after those first few hours. Like, your understanding of the game changes, and you need that kind of clicking moment to get what the game is trying to get. Now, I'm also in the camp, though, if a game takes 10 hours to get good, it's not a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people would argue that. I mean, I think I came up with that kind of realization during Final Fantasy 13.
I was just going to say Final Fantasy 13, yeah.
Like, it was such a grind. I know I was going through the super linear section, and after you get past the linear section, it opens up, and it's great. That was like 10 to 12 hours, and I wasn't there, and I was just like, I'm done with this. So, but to each their own. And
again, like, part of me feels bad about giving it up due to Skillup's opinion, but, like, I don't know, sometimes when someone else's opinion is coinciding with how I'm feeling, it's like, well, yeah, this is kind of how I'm feeling, and you're this person's saying the same thing, I don't know.
So what he's also saying is, don't bother listening to Chaz. Go watch Skillup.
Go watch Skillup.
Wah,
wah. All right,
let's move on.
Because Skillup has a bad channel. No one. There's nothing to be gained from
man.
Skill Up. Alright, so
Start insulting him. Yerg.
I'm gonna send all my fans to hate raid on Skill Up, all two of them.
All two of them.
We love you, fans.
Alright.
We're just kidding.
Okay, so Phoenix, this is your moment.